God bless you all and welcome to Radford, Virginia. I'm glad to welcome you, and I'm glad to welcome J.D. Vance to Radford, Virginia. And I have to tell you, I've always had a special place in my heart for Radford. I grew up in a single-parent household. I didn't have any contact with my father, and my mother was raising us, and she decided as a single mom school teacher that she was going to get her master's degree. And so she came to Radford to get her master's degree, and she did that in some night classes and in summer classes at Radford University. And so when I was about 10, my sister and I were coming to Radford in the summers for 2 summers, and we spent a lot of time on campus, and if we were really good, we'd get a dime. Yeah, I'm that old. We'd get a dime to go to the Ben Franklin. And those were the big days. It was a big time. But I got to tell you, it is a special place. And I'm pleased to be here with all the folks who've already spoken, particularly our Attorney General, Jason Mares. And this wasn't part of the speech I wrote at the Long John Silver's today, but I'm going to add it in anyway. The Republican Party is a party of opportunities. We heard from Senate candidate Hung Cao. His family escaped from communist Vietnam, and he has persevered, and he is a Republican. We heard from Jason Mares. Jason's family escaped from communist Cuba, and he has persevered, and he is a Republican. And we are going to hear from J.D. Vance, who started out with humble beginnings and has persevered, and he is a Republican. And like me and like you, these people are Republicans because the Republican Party of the United States of America in this century is the party of opportunity for everyone. Not just those whose ancestors go back. And while the other party likes to claim that mantle, they have lost that mantle, and the Trump movement in this country has claimed that mantle of the underdog fighting to be better, which America is proud of, for the Republican Party. So I'm glad all those folks got to speak, and I'm glad you're going to hear from J.D. Vance, and now go back to my script. You and I know that not only is the Republican Party the party of opportunities, but that the extreme policies of the far left and of the Biden-Harris era have hurt America. Regulations, 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 and more regulations have pushed more and more of our jobs overseas. The Green New Deal is just one example. It pushes people to buy electric cars. They want everybody to buy an electric car, and electric cars have a place. I'm not against electric cars. But most of the components of the batteries that run those electric cars come from China. They come from China, not the U.S. Far left-wing Democrats like Kamala Harris are so determined to undermine American coal, oil, and natural gas that they would rather send jobs to China than to find other solutions. Solutions that American small businesses have. Solutions like MOVA Technologies in Pulaski County has, where they can actually clean up the air without eliminating our natural resource richness in natural gas, coal, and oil, but allow us to do it in a cleaner manner. No, let's not talk about that. Let's not work for that. Let's just make everybody drive electric cars powered by batteries from China. Boo. That's exactly right. These American companies can make our great natural wealth work for the United States, and they will, if allowed, and they will be allowed under Trump-Vance, but if allowed, they will create jobs for the United States, not China. When Donald Trump and J.D. Vance talk about jobs, they're talking about jobs for you. They're talking about jobs for Americans, and they're talking about jobs for Virginians. And when other countries subsidize their manufacturing in order to undercut American manufacturing, President Trump stood up and took a stand and called on the Chinese. He called the Chinese to task. He called other countries to task and said, we're not going to play in a free market world when you've got your thumbs on the scale of free market. We're not going to have it. He stood up. He started the reversal of what's been happening to us for the last several decades, where the Chinese subsidize their businesses and kill our jobs like the jobs that we used to have in this region, particularly Pulaski and Bassett, and sent those jobs to China. Trump won't have it. He didn't have it in his first term. He won't have it in his second term. And when Trump calls out the Chinese and others, that boosts American manufacturing and boosts American jobs. You know what else you can do to help the American families and help American jobs? You can cut taxes. Trump and the Republicans in Congress cut taxes in 2017. The economy grew, and we did it without large inflation. Thus, real wages grew instead of shrinking as it has under Biden-Harris. A second Trump administration will build on these efforts, make those cuts from 2017 permanent, and look for other ways to help you keep your money out of the hands of Washington, D.C. elitists. The extreme left hates rural American values. The extreme left hates conservative Republican policies. And they hate Donald Trump so much they were willing to perpetuate the lies about Joe Biden's being capable to run for president of the United States again. And what they showed by that is that all they care about is clinging to power. And when the curtain was pulled back and the great and powerful Joe Biden was shown that he was not competent to stand for re-election, many Democrats hoping to stay in power are turning to another less than competent candidate, Kamala Harris. How do we know that she is not competent? It's pretty easy. She was given the job of addressing the need to stem the tide of illegal immigrants crossing our southern border. What has she done? Beats me. She took months after being given that assignment before she ever went to the border. And as far as I know, and as far as I could find searching it on the Google, she's only been there once. Has the flood of illegal immigration into this country stopped? No. No, it has not. That was her job, given to her by Biden. It was kind of like he gave her a job to do on-the-job training. Well, if that's the best she can do in her on-the-job training test for the American people, in the words of Donald Trump, the American people are going to say, "You're fired." USA, 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 USA. USA, USA. The American people understand what's going on. They understand the wool was pulled over their eyes 4 years ago. They understand what they need to do. And it doesn't matter whether it's Harris or someone else the Democrats put up. The American people are going to say to the Democrats in the United States Senate, you're fired. They're going to say to the Democrats in the United States House of Representatives, you're fired. And they're going to say to whomever the Democrats put up to run for president, who knows at this point, it's only a few months away, but they don't have a set candidate yet, and we are all going to tell their candidate, you're fired. And you know who the American people are going to hire? They're going to hire Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance. That's who they're going to hire. And Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance are going to make America great again. God bless you all. God bless Virginia. And may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you very much. Take care.